Well, hello everyone. This is Carrie Beck with FamilyEbiz. I am so excited about this session. It is one of my favorite topics to talk about because I believe too often we can get so bogged down. So, what are we talking about today? Three things that are holding you back from success. And it is straight up on the hour. We are going to get started. I'm just going to double check my phone, which is where I can sort of keep up with what's going on, and keep up with comments and that type of thing as well. So there we go. I got it going here and everything. All right, so as we go through this session, I would love to hear what you feel is holding you back from success. So just leave a comment, whether you're listening to the replay or the live, tag me in a comment and let me know what you feel is keeping you from success, because maybe we need to address a few other topics. All right. And before we dive into this, some of you already know me, some of you don't, but it's been a while since I've actually introduced my family here on Facebook. So I'm going to hold the little card. We'll do this. There we go. These are my kids. One of the reasons I love to share about my kids is when they were at home, we truly had a family business. And so I think that is one thing that is so important that we pay attention to. So let's see. Gentry is right here. She's the middle child. She's married to Andrew. They have Landry and Deacon. This was almost a year ago, I guess. Um, this is Ashley, our oldest, and she's married to Jesse, and they have Elizabeth and Faith. And then Hunter's on the end. He is the baby of the family. And of course, I had to put a picture of all those little great grandkids that are so much fun to play with. Here's one more picture I'll just show off. We'd gone off for a weekend together and taking pictures. Why do I share that? Because I will talk about some of the kids and things that they do. I do that a little bit more on strategies, marketing strategies, that kind of thing. But Gentry ran our shipping department and customer service while she was in high school and college. Ashley took care of travel arrangements when we were going places, back of the room stuff when we were running events. Hunter actually took over when Gentry graduated from college, and he took care of the bookkeeping, the customer service, the shipping, everything while he was in college. And all three of them, when we traveled to different conferences, they all worked the booth. And now I want to tell you something else before we move forward. We paid our kids well, always above minimum wage. And we really wanted to train them so they could actually know how to run an online business. And they saw the ups and downs. Like when we would go to a conference, we actually paid them a percentage of our profits. So the more they served the people coming into the booth, and those people liked our product, then the more likely they would make a little bit extra money. Hello, Christy. I'm so glad you're here. I'm not going to put that there because it will fall. The other thing I want you to know is if you have comments, please leave them. I'm going to be giving away a few copies of my Brainstorm Your Business Idea. Whether you already have an idea or not, you may be already down that road, but a lot of people in our group are really struggling to make sure, am I in the right niche? This is a process, an exercise to help you do that and get going in the right thing. So all you have to do is leave comments and you'll be entered. I'm glad you're here too, Christy. All right. I've already asked if there's something holding you back from success and you're willing to share. Please go ahead and leave that in the comments. I want to back up a little bit and tell you about Family eBiz, and then we'll move into the three areas. Family eBiz really began 2003 or 4, somewhere around there, because we were moving from this home up to Idaho, from Texas to Idaho. You cannot just take everything, all your clients, especially since they're remodeling clients, up to Idaho. So we had to find something that would work. I think I've told this story before, but that first month we were there, Steve fell into some Google AdSense and he was making $500 a day. And we we're like, thank you, God, you are taking care of us. But through those, especially while we were up in Idaho, he began to develop some courses. His first course was a physical course that we actually shipped to people. I want to say it was 8 weeks to profits, something like that. It was how to get started online, basically. And in a week, he made about $50,000. We were on to something. It was working. Now, that was in the beginning when there weren't quite as many online courses. Then I actually created Secrets to Online Auction Success. And it was basically how can you make money off eBay? Because we were making good money on eBay. I don't have the exact numbers, but five or $10,000 in a week just with that one course. But I will tell you, fast forward about 8 or 10 years, and Steve felt like he was giving false hope to people. He felt like if they bought something from him, they thought, all I have to do is buy this course and I'll make money. And it takes work, as most of you already know. Hello, Sherry, glad you're here. Um, and so, um, so he actually, in about 2010 or 2012, he pulled back and went back into his remodeling business. I personally think the false thinking, and we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about this in one of our three things, shut him down from Family eBiz. All right. So I'm going to save that part of the talk for just a little bit later. So let's first talk about number one idea, perfection. How many of you have this problem? I can't put it out there. I still need to tweak it. It's got to be perfect. This is one of entrepreneurs' biggest stumbling blocks, I believe, that holds us back from success. Dan Kennedy is one of my favorite direct marketers, and he says this: good is good enough. It does not need to be perfect. Good is good enough. And so I think that is really something we need to take a step back. Perfectionism is just going to throttle you and strangle you, and you'll never put anything back. I want to tell you that I put on two events every year, and every year I'm like, oh, we did that wrong. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do that. If I were waiting until it was perfect, I would never put on these events. I just do the best I can, and a good event is better than no event. I refuse to let perfectionism keep me from publishing, from producing an event like that. Now, I have to tell you, I, as a child, was a perfectionist. If I were, I love to sew. I don't sew as much now, but I sewed. I mean, my mom showed me how, and if it wasn't just a perfect seam, I'd rip it out and do it again until I had kids. And I was like, good is good enough. No one can see the inside of my daughter's dress. It fits her well. It looks good on her. Carrie, just get it done and move on. So, I mean, that's a personal example. That's not really a business example. But so another person is Seth Godin. He wrote The Big Move. Stop trying to be perfect and start being remarkable. All right. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be remarkable. He has a very small ebook called Ship It. He says, too many of you sit on it instead of ship it. You're sitting on it until you think it's perfect. All right. But I'm not trying to be perfect. I can hear what some of y'all are saying. I'm just trying to get it right. That is the same thing. If you're just waiting to get it right, you're still trying to get it perfect. Get it out there is more powerful than sitting on it. How are you serving your audience if you never do pull the trigger? All right. Now, there are times I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to put this out, but I do it anyway. Because if I don't ever put anything out, I'm never going to make any money anyway. So getting it out there is more powerful than sitting on it. Ship it. Now, obviously, he's talking about shipping items, but ship it. It could be a digital thing that you're shipping through email. You've got to pull the trigger. Or you want your website to be perfect because you don't want anyone to see it until it's perfect. Well, let me tell you, no one's seeing it in the beginning anyway, unless you've already got 10,000 people following you. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, to this day, FamilyEbiz.com has so many mistakes. Now we're working on it. We're getting a little better. There are so many flaws on that site, but it works for me right now. It's not the best. It needs many edits and improvements, but good is good enough. All right. So, how do we overcome perfection? Remember, I told you I was going to talk about three things that are holding us back from success. How do we overcome this perfectionism? Here are a few ideas. Yes, Christy, remarkable. I like that idea too. Um, Again, Dan Kennedy, one of my favorite marketers. He has since passed away, but he says great entrepreneurs are never perfect, but they're always learning. All right. We're always working forward, but we're not perfect. No one's really perfect. The other thing is, I think you need to give yourself grace, give yourself patience. I think a lot of you know that my mentor is Amy Porterfield, and we're in a big group together. And one of the things she tells me, and one of the things I like, first of all, I'd say, do you have a mentor? Do you have someone that you are following? And do you have a group of entrepreneurs that can carry you forward, that get it? And I will tell you right now, when I have questions about my business, the first place I go is to momentum, because momentum is where these people are taking action, and I know that they are successful, and so we can work together as a group, and I can help them. I'm sort of excited that I'm in this group with her, and her assistant will tag me every once in a while. Oh, Carrie, you've got a membership, can you help this person? So um, she says, give yourself permission for sub A work. We all want A work, don't we? B work is just fine. Putting out B work is better than nothing. It is better than never putting it out there. Again, I was an AB student. I wanted to always make the best grades. I was on the honor roll and whatever else. Does that really matter? No. But let me give you an example. My podcast, it's called Homeschool Coffee Break. It started a year ago. If you went and looked at it, you would think I do not know anything about podcasting. It is not that great. I just last July, I was like, I'm doing it. I am getting that podcast out there. Now, I had some encouragement or impetus to do it because I wanted to give out the there were six of our top homeschool superheroes videos. And so that's what started this podcast, so that my affiliates could share samples of what their people would get. And so those are the first six in my podcast. And then after I did that, I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it every week. It is not perfect. It doesn't have an intro or an outro. It doesn't have editing. It is real life. But you know what? It is out there and people are subscribed and they are downloading and coming to get to know me, because I think a podcast is a great way for people to know you, like you, and trust you. So give me a yes or no. Is it easy to put out B work, or is that hard for you? Let me know. And as you do that, I want to tell you, it is better to take a baby step, a baby step, a baby step, then one giant leap, and then wait. And then 3 months later, a giant step. So for my podcast, every week, for me, this is what works. And maybe once a month is better for you. But every week on Monday, I go live on Facebook and we use that content and we put it into a YouTube channel that's probably going against all the perfect YouTube rules. And I put it into a podcast, and they are not perfect. Now, I am getting better. I saw a Christmas movie in December, and I was like, she was a video caster or blogger. I don't know what she was, but I loved her tagline. So I began to think about tagline. If I'm calling it Homeschool Coffee Break, might as well have a tagline. So now, because I don't edit, I introduce myself and I say, Carrie Beck with Homeschool Coffee Break, where we help you stop the overwhelm so you can actually take a coffee break. I'm here to help you. Now, even now, I don't even remember to always say that, but that's what I'm supposed to be doing to sort of get that out there as well. Okay, here is what Lao Tzu says: The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Have you taken one step towards success? You know, and I know Christy's been working on it because I see her and what she's doing and speaking and everything. So those are a few things that you can do to overcome perfection. So perfection is one thing that keeps us from success. Number two, fear. So I'll just throw it out there. Leave me something in the comments. Whether you are on the live or on the replay, let me know if fear is something that keeps you from success. You're too afraid to actually do something. You're just playing at online business. You're just playing at blogging. You're not all in if that's what you're doing. If you're afraid, what are you afraid of? Are you comparing yourselves to others? Here's one thing. I love this quote. Eleanor Roosevelt. You wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realized how seldom they do. Oh, here, let me raise it up a little. Think about that. Isn't that true? Too often we're worried about what everyone else is thinking, and they're not even thinking about you. I know that I can really have a problem with that. The other thing, and I see some of this in my mastermind students, especially ones getting started, but I will have to tell you, you know what? I'm gonna have to tell you about Myra right now. I wasn't really planning on it, but Myra, she has been in my mastermind. It'll be 2 years in September. The first year she changed her niche like 3 or 4 times, and then she finally got it. What is her niche going to be? And she said, you know what helped me the most in getting past this fear of putting something out there? And that is having the ability in our small group to talk it out, to talk things out and problem solve, the support and the place to ask questions safely. And over the last year, she has found clarity on her business niche, her business idea. Now, I have to tell you, she works. I mean, this is a side hustle, so it's not like this is the only thing she's ever doing. I think this is important, and she has the support of people to move forward. I am really proud of her. The other, there was someone else when I was saying that I was going to share something, but I'll probably think about it. Anyway, I love that, and I do think, oh, I know, I'm not going to name her name because I've not ever asked her, but we have another student, and she throws out her problem, and they're not sure about it. She's like, and she'll go talking on her own for 5 or 10 minutes. And we're like, well, do we have, oh no, you know what? Just talking through it has helped me figure out my answer to this problem. Thank y'all. And so sometimes it's just talking with people that actually understand. All right. So what are you scared of? Are you because you're comparing yourself to others? Constantly learning. And that's what when I saw that, I was thinking, Myra, because sometimes we can get so bogged down in learning every detail. I have another student that she really, I think, could do it. And we challenged her yesterday to pull the trigger. And next month, you're going to tell us how you're going to start delivering your content. We're constantly learning. And that is really covering up our fear to put something out there. We never do pull the trigger. We're afraid of failure. What if you end up giving a webinar and you have zero sales? Well, guess what? I've actually done that. I have sold a zero for a week after a webinar. What happened? I didn't die. I am still here. I'm telling y'all, I have failed on lots of things. All right, I'm bringing Dan Kennedy up again. And he says, fail fast. The faster you fail, the faster you can learn from your mistakes, adjust, and move forward. And that's exactly what I did. Hunter, my son, when he was a senior, he was playing football, and I think the cheerleaders or someone was selling t-shirts. And I love the front of this t-shirt. I actually still have the t-shirt. Go big or go home. Either go all in or just stop and quit and go find a job or go do something else. Because when we play small, we delay our success. So quit testing, quit researching, and just do it. Show up, do it, and take action. I was actually in Amy Porterfield's Momentum Group, and there's a strategy that I've learned. I can't do it right now because I'm in the middle of Homeschool Superheroes, but I hope I'm planning to do it in August. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's a really cool strategy. But you know what? This one girl read the guy's idea for the summer and what they do every week in the summer. And in 1 week, she took it, she made the web pages, and she's ready to publish that week. I was like, and everyone, especially the people, the VAs to Amy Porterfield, they're like, whoa, taking action. You heard it, you did it. And so I am going to take action. You're going to see it in August. All right. I also think we need to realize, like, um, are you going to be a hobby business? Or is this business going to provide lifestyle? Some of you, you just need to make a little extra income to help. That's fine, but still be all in on that. Or if you want a full-time income, be all in for that as well. So tell me if you have any fears, what are they? I will tell you, in order to overcome this fear, you have got to be fully present. All right. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a full-time job, but you are fully present when you're working and you are willing, this is overcoming fear, to take the next step, no matter how scared you are. I've been talking about homeschool superheroes because right now we've opened registration this week. And I will tell you, back in 2020, I was scared to death to start it all over again. But I had nothing to lose at that point in time. Just do it, Carrie. Just do it. You just lost half your income, so just do it. But I had so many people trusting me. I had speakers, I had sponsors, I had attendees, and personally, I was scared to do this. I did not know. I felt like a lot of people were depending on me for this to be a success, and it was a huge success. I would say it's probably, well, I would say, but it was hugely success enough to where I'm like, I am all in. I am going there in my online as far as we are focusing online. I know what direction I need as well. So let's go back to Eleanor Roosevelt talking about fear. We gain strength and courage and confidence by each experience in which we really stop to look fear in the face. We must do that which we think we cannot. And I don't know, maybe God's just, well, I know he's given me a stubborn streak, but I just think that is one thing that has helped me is, whether I'm afraid or not, I just move forward. Mark Twain also has something good to say, and I like the way he says it. See, can y'all see that? Courage is resist Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not the absence of fear. It is resisting it, mastering it, and it's not the absence. We're all afraid of something. All right. Justina, another one of my students, she really, where is she? She's like, you know what, Carrie? Being a solopreneur is slow and steady, and it can be fearful at times. She just said, but going through that mastermind has helped me so much to overcome that and to be able to see slow and steady progress as well. But I really like, she says it is slow and steady, and sometimes that's what happens. It will be but if we can continue to see progress, that's good. All right, perfectionism, fear. Now let's talk about number 3 and how we can overcome it. Imposter syndrome. And y'all are like, oh, I'm tired. You're talking about it. I'm like, you're right, because I still deal with imposter syndrome. What is it? And does anyone leave me a comment and let me know? Do you deal with imposter syndrome? Feeling I'm not good enough. I'm a fraud, and they're going to find out. That's me sometimes. Well, here's what I really felt. My course just isn't good enough. It goes back to that perfectionism thing. But even though I think that, I still put it out there. I get over my fear and my imposter syndrome. Or maybe you're thinking, who does he think he is? Who does she think she is? Negative thinking takes away the energy from thinking for success. I think it's important that we dream of our business. I was actually it was like 2 weeks ago today. It was on a Friday afternoon. Went out to coffee with one of my real good friends, and she said, "Okay, Carrie, this has been like 2 or 3 years." She goes, "I'm ready to take action. I'm going to get this house business thing going. It's a digital house. It's a picture. I'm not going to go into it." She said, I went to a retreat and they really encouraged me to dream big. And so that's what she's doing. And so I think some of that is, again, taking action and we can get past our imposter syndrome and quit worrying. Like this is where Steve really struggled with. And we knew what we taught worked because we were using it in our homeschool niche. But I think he just got frustrated with people that would buy his course and not do anything, and then they feel like they weren't winning, they weren't getting success. And so I think it just really messed with him in his mind. I want to share a few examples of imposter syndrome from people that you might be surprised. John Steinbeck, grapes of wrath. I'm not a writer. I've been fooling myself and all the other people. Meryl Streep. I mean, how many Academy Awards does she have? You think, why would anyone want to see me in a movie again? And don't know how to act anyway. So why am I doing this? Kate Winslet. Sometimes I wake up in the morning before going off to a shoot and I think, I can't do this. I'm afraid. Fraud. Afraid and a fraud. But here's Jennifer Lopez. Even though I've sold 70 million albums, there was a feeling like I'm no good at this. And then the last one, I just think it's good to hear from people that we put up on a pedestal and think are highly successful. They still struggle with imposter syndrome. Jodie Foster, who won an Oscar, and he shares what she said. When I won the Oscar, I thought it was a fluke. I thought everybody would find out and they'd take it back. They'd come to my house, knocking on my door. Excuse me, we meant to give that to someone else. That was going to Meryl Streep. So I think we all struggle with this somewhat. How do we overcome it? Well, let's start with a quote from Amy Cuddy. She says, focus less on the impression you're making on others and more on the impression you're making on yourself. Think about that. You want to quit worrying about the impression you're making on others and think more about yourself. So comment. Here's what I would love for you to do, live or I want you to think about the last 6 months. And I want you to think about one thing that you have been successful in or proud of and put it out there. And I know that may be scary, but put something out there and let people know because too often we get so wrapped up in thinking we can't do something. And yet every day you are doing something that you should be proud of, something that you have been successful of. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, my morning this morning, I'd be going, blah, my whole website crashed. And I found out we had way too much traffic for homeschool superheroes, but we got it fixed. Thank goodness I have a phone number and I can call those people. And in less than 30 minutes, they had my site up and running again. So sometimes those things happen. But I can say there are good things that have happened. I hear from moms about the transformation that my Raising Leaders course makes. One of them is like, Carrie, you changed my whole perspective, and my kids like their teacher. They like me now. And I was like, oh, yay, I love you, Laura. Thank you for sharing. So, what is something that you have done to be successful or that you could be proud of? And that can, if you can get your mindset thinking about that, can get away from that imposter syndrome. John Wooden, y'all may not know him, but I'm a sports fan and I love this man. I've read 3 or 4 of his books. He was in the 1960s. He was a basketball coach at U, UCLA or USC. I don't know, one of the California things. They'd probably really get upset if I didn't know the name of him. He won 10 national championships in basketball in a row. And here's what he said. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. Think about it. Quit thinking about the things you can't do, and let's pay more attention about what the gifts God has given you. And I'm going to tell you right now, I wish I could sing. People around me at church probably do too. If I focused on not being able to sing, I would never worship God. I mean, who cares? But I know the things I'm not good at. Tech is one of those things too, maybe a little more than most people, but that is one thing that I really struggle with. So I think it's important to overcome imposter syndrome. Be honest about your ability, your credibility, and your success. Secondly, replace the lies in your head with truth. All right. Silence the voices that are going off in your head saying, "Oh, don't put that out there. It's not good enough. Who's gonna buy that from you?" I have personal ones, but I have business ones too that still creep up a lot of times. And so here's what I would recommend for you to do. I would write down the lies that are going on in your head, and let's just talk specifically for business. Get a piece of paper and write the lies down. Because until you identify the lie, the imposter syndrome that you're dealing with, then you're never going to be able to replace it and speak truth to yourself. I think it's important that we speak truth to ourselves. Personally, I know the people on here right now know I'm a person of faith, but some of you are going to be listening to the replay. So I replace those lies with truth from the Bible because I believe that's the absolute truth. And so I will write down a lie and then I will go forward with it as well. I think that is so important that we need to replace it. And so here's something I can say. If I feel like my course isn't good enough, but I can go, God tells me, but He's made me an individual and my identity is in Him and He's given me special gifts that I need to use. And so I can write a truth about saying, no, I am created for Jesus to serve for Him. And He's given me gifts that I can use to serve for Him. And then I think it's important that we just say that out on a daily basis as well. So be honest about your ability, credibility, and success. Replace the lies in your head with truth. Let your why be bigger than your worry. This is something, again, I know I keep talking about Amy Porterfield, but I had a chance to interview her yet last year, and this was how she closed our interview. Let your why be bigger than your worry. This is what will pick you up on the days that you fail. Amy Porterfield's first launch, she made $267. 267. But did she stop? No. The next launch, she made 30,000. The next launch, she made 118,000. The next one, 283,000. And the next one, 950,000. You see, she went past, I think this is a perfect picture because we have the perfectionism. She went past that. She went past her fears and then past her imposter syndrome. And if you ever listen to her, she will talk about imposter syndrome. Now, Mark Victor Hansen, who's written a lot of books about this, I'm going to read this to you because I think it's really important to get past these fears and this imposter syndrome. He says, don't wait until everything is just right. Okay. Get past perfectionism. It will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, obstacles, and less than perfect conditions. So what? Get started now. With each step you take, you will grow stronger and stronger, more and more skilled, more and more self confident, and more successful. With each step you take, you're getting past your fears and your imposter syndrome as well. And then I think it's important that you just keep showing up because perseverance leads to character. Again, I'm going to just read a verse. Not only it says, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, character, hope, and hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. That's in Romans 5. Perseverance leads to character, character leads to hope. That is perfect. That is exactly what we need to be doing. But you've got to take a step. You've got to pull the trigger. Get up from your fall if you fail, which I have had lots. I've shared a few of my failures today, and walk, run, or crawl. Do something, but take the next step. Take a step. Overcome your roadblocks, whether you're going around the roadblock, over the roadblock, or through the roadblock. There are things just like this morning with the website crashing. I mean, I didn't know that, and some of y'all had already figured that out, but I didn't turn my computer on till 8:45, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know? Well, I could have just sat there and cried, which I sometimes feel like doing. I felt like that yesterday when I was trying to get my payment processors working right, but I was like, no. I'm going to take a step. I am going to take that step. I'm going to send the ticket. I'm going to send something out to the people that are concerned. And then I'm going to pick up the phone and call those people. And they're the ones that sort of told me what was and when I called, I said, my website's down. Oh, we're working on it. They already knew. They had already seen it. And he goes, you've got too much traffic going right now to handle it. And we're working on it. I'm like, okay. So you just take the next step. If you need help, ask. That's what I did. I asked. But who do you ask from? And whom do you trust? So let's just go back over this. Success can be blocked by perfectionism, by our fear, and by imposter syndrome. Each one of these, I've told you a few ideas on how you could overcome them. I think it's important that you find a group. I've already told you I'm in Amy Porterfield's mastermind, or she's my mentor. I'm in her mastermind, and I've got a group of people, some behind me that are just getting started, some in front of me. And so I have a safe place that I can get help from. Do you have a safe place that you can get help from? Getting help, it like a personal board of advisors that you can listen to and advise you. And y'all know right now I have my mastermind open and we have just a few slots left. So I just want to put that out to you. I do want to tell you that this morning before my little crashes, I woke up going, okay, I know what we're going to do. I'm going to give a 30-minute coaching call to anyone that signs up this weekend for one of our mastermind slots. And so that's worth $50 already. And so, that is something I think would be very valuable to you to get started on the right foot. But how does a mastermind really help you? It can help you take your business to the next level wherever you are. You have a group of trusted entrepreneurs. Whatever we say in our groups of 4 or 5 is confidential. These are advisors that will listen to you and advise you on your next step, help you stay accountable and focused. Jan Burt, I love what Jan had to say. She was like, where did she go? She goes, one of my favorite things is the accountability factor each month. I've been in masterminds before. This one is the best I've ever been a part of because there is actual accountability. I don't feel like I'm adrift and out there on my own. I am seen and valued, not just one face on a Zoom call once a month, you know? And so I want to make this a group that people can actually connect with. I know a lot of our mastermind members, they get to know each other and then they work outside of the mastermind and network as well, focusing on profit making tasks. Jan has told me before, Carrie, I take your action plan and they tell me what they're going to put on it. And we email her a copy of it and I put it right there next to my computer. So whenever I am working, I stay focused on the profit making tasks that I have chosen to do. And so there is a lot of accountability. When you get back to the next meeting, the first thing we're like, here it is. Did you get this done or not? And Janice told me, she goes, Carrie, sometimes the day or two before, I am like, I got to get this done because I got to tell people whether I got it done or not. So there is a lot of accountability. It also can help you overcome your fear of no one reading your blog post or buying your items because you have a support group and we can come together and help in that way as well. So what do we do at these meetings? Each blogger will get a 30-minute session to answer the 5 Qs, which talks about things that are working, things that aren't working, and we help with each other. Actually, yesterday I had our Thursday group, and Jerry Ann, who's a quilter, she's told me this several times, Carrie, I always look forward to these meetings. They are so helpful. I mean, I am like, okay. And she is just like step by step by step. And I'm so excited to see what she's going to do. She says, I plan to launch that. She's been working for a year on list building. And now her goal is September to put out her first digital product. So the other thing that I really like about this, I mean, coaching is good one-on-one, but this is the power of a group. And my son Hunter works with groups all the time. He's like, Mom, I could come up with answers for my clients, but when we come together as a group, we get a much better solution for our clients. That's what the power of a mastermind will do for you. So, let's see. I think that's it. And then every month, the first Wednesday of the month, I go live, either me or a guest, and do a training for you. And then you'll get a printable to go with it. Sometimes the last one, I think, was like a 30 or 40-page workbook to help you work through that particular topic. I know back in March and April, we did SEO, and then I interviewed Monique Bosteve because she's just an expert at that. And so that shows you, actually, in March, we did a case study with Mara, one of my students. Because she's into her niche now, and we're trying to show her how she can set it up from the beginning to where she can get her blog post set up correctly for SEO purposes. All right. I already told you about the 30-minute coaching call. If y'all have questions, let me know. I will tell you, this is what our hope is, and this is what I've been seeing. People that join our mastermind and follow and actually complete the action plan can move from a nobody in their niche to a rock star who serves their audience well, to quit doing all the work manually and follow systems to give you more freedom to spend more time with your family, freedom to go and do the things you want to do, to travel or whatever, to quit trying to figure it out on your own. You've got your own personal board of advisors. And this can get rid of all the confusion and all the wasted time as well. So you focus really on profit making tasks. Now, if y'all have questions, let me know. And I will be happy to answer them. I did sort of forget to, I'm gonna type this, see if it'll, well, if I could type, I think I was supposed to copy and paste it, but I forgot. All right, that, I just put a little comment out there as well. If you decide to join, this will give you a lot more information about it. It'll tell you, what some people have said about it as well. So, any questions, let me know. I'll be checking back at the replay as well. There we go. And thank you for spending time on your Friday afternoon. I hope you will take the time to join us. This has just been, I will tell you, I get charged up at every one of our mastermind meetings, and I have different groups on different days. And it is just so exciting to see people grow their business as well. So, well, I think that is it. Oh, there we go. Well, I'm Carrie Beck with Family eBiz. We want to help you take your business to the next level. We'll talk to you later.